dynamic in the kitchen.
All that shit I did for niggas, they wanna did for me. I never asked for much, keeping it real is free. Now I'm just saving my money, you ain't gotta deal with me. I go broke, back to the block, ain't nobody gon' feel it but me. These niggas ungrateful. Do something for a nigga, niggas won't even say thank you. Speaking down on me, nah, that shit disgraceful. If I wasn't here, who would you call? If I wasn't rich, who could I call? My days consist of me and my circle. Even got family members who ain't worthy. They be like, let me hold something to Tuesday, I'ma give it back. Tuesday come, niggas act like they mad when you go to get it back. Bring up what you did for me, then you shouldn't have did it. I get sick of that. Everything I ever did was genuine. You would never hear me mention that. Remember that, nigga. So I get to showing niggas love, right? Like real love, pulling up on niggas and everything, you know. Ain't nobody from my city that made it ever did that for niggas. You know what I'm saying? The trenches. I tried to be the first one to do that. Niggas still hating on me, right? So I'm like, alright, maybe niggas just broke and need some money. I get to passing cheese around that bitch, you know what I'm saying? I'm like 200,000 in just with passing money out, you know what I'm saying? That shit don't work, man. These niggas don't appreciate shit. These niggas ungrateful.
I did for everyone. Ungrateful. They tell me niggas did biz. She made sure you was fed. Let you talk to your kids so they can love their dad. You ain't say thank you. But at the same time, she was tripping about some taxes. She ain't wanna break bread with her man. She's so ungrateful. Ain't cheat just to keep you happy. I wish I was unfaithful. That niggas hold money Friday after Friday like I was able. I brought niggas around my kids, let them eat at the round table. Watch playoff games up at my crib cause you ain't had no cable. Jail visits, sending pictures I was bad at. You say I'm tripping, but your family who you was mad at. I know some niggas who would take you out for some Xanax. Plan B, cause plan A, we ain't never planned that. You miss court, I let you lay low. You stole from me and I ain't sent you since. I told my OG I'ma give you Halo. Got that dog food like we Raylo. And they gon' kill you if I say so. Hey, I'ma tell you the truth, I'ma spit facts. I'ma tell you one time, right? My bank called me, was telling me like somebody just forged your signature. So I'm like, hell no, man, y'all tripping. $20,000, $30,000 checks, ain't nobody, I ain't feeling nobody walk in there and do that, you know what I'm saying? Whole time it was my family. You know what I'm saying? They ain't even heard me, man. I just knew what time it was, you know what I'm saying? That's why everybody I got around me, I call my brothers, my family, you know what I'm saying? It's so crazy, because sometimes I put water over blood.
That's my motherfucking blood. That's my motherfucking brother. That's my motherfucking blood. That's my motherfucking brother. That's my motherfucking blood. That's my motherfucking blood. That's my motherfucking blood.
A lot of vultures, a lot of grizzlies. A lot of vultures, a lot of grizzlies. A lot of vultures, a lot of grizzlies. A lot of vultures, a lot of grizzlies.
That's my motherfucking blood. That's my motherfucking brother. That's my motherfucking blood. That's my motherfucking brother. That's my motherfucking blood. That's my motherfucking blood. That's my mother.
Rob who I be with all the robbers and shooters. Turn up on your move. My little shorty gon' school. If that 40 on that, 4-5 months go boom.
Please don't try to play hard. Get your face spurt. So got 20 bodies, bitch. It's a graveyard. Niggas playing on that Instagram. Better log off. Use your head. AR pistol hit it. It's gon' fall off.
Gun charge. Wish I got it dropped. Let them K's off. So hard. Had some dime packs. Look like 8 bucks. Put it back. All on his head. He get paid off. Lay low. If he cut his dress, knock his fade off.
That's my motherfucking blood. That's my motherfucking brother. That's my motherfucking blood. That's my motherfucking brother. That's my motherfucking blood. That's my motherfucking blood. That's my motherfucking blood. That's my motherfucking blood.
A lot of vultures, a lot of grizzlies. A lot of vultures, a lot of grizzlies. A lot of vultures, a lot of grizzlies. A lot of vultures, a lot of grizzlies.
That's my motherfucking blood. That's my motherfucking brother. That's my motherfucking blood. That's my motherfucking brother. That's my motherfucking blood. That's my motherfucking blood. That's my motherfucking blood. That's my motherfucking blood. What your city like? What your city like?
One from, gotta keep that blick on you. Park at your crib, how my young niggas sit on you. You a killer or a snitch, you gon' kill me or trick on me. What your city like?
My city be shaking that bag. My city got hoes that shitting on niggas, but even the hoes get hit in their head. What your city like?
My city ain't changed the culture. I be with folks, I can be with you for days, and I be the nigga that poke you. What your city like?
My city the home of meats, home of the riots. My city violent. Niggas will tell you they love you, but really they don't even like you. What your city like?
Shit, I'm from the city of Hoover. Bump and slide was robbing a jeweler. I was in school, but shit had made me a shooter. What your city like?
I'm from the city of Kwame. Clean up the scene, wipe off the choppers, and drop to the lake and get rid of the bodies. What your city like?
Shit, we do not honor no OG. Well, they smoke you and turn you to OG. Had that young nigga take that KC juvie. You must be stupid, think you gang, boy, your ass a goofy pussy. Know some bitches that be cracking giffies, they be boosting. What your city like?
If it get like that, then it get like that. Beef slide down, we gon' get right back, nigga, just like that. Got locked, told niggas I'ma be back. Soon as I got back, got 3 plaques. Ops on Twitter, we ain't gon' tweet back. I'ma pop out broad day, no ski mask. My city where them piranhas at. Jump in that water and drown in that. I hit Kentucky with 300 grams for 5 days and bring 90 back. I started off with a 90 pack. Such and such, he can vouch for that. Can't say his name all over these tracks, cause that nigga know where the body at. What your city like, nigga?
Shit, we take the drugs to Iowa, home of the swiper. When you a gangster, don't go off a title. I know some ox that's scared of the Bible. Yeah. Pick up the Glock and put down the rifle. 17 with a 17, the same back then, we not fighting.
Can't come to our city, they know what's up with them. Cool with the killers, they really my niggas. They ops, my ops, can't fuck with them niggas. Dirk on his way to Detroit, back off me soon as you hit. I'ma put choppers around you, my nigga don't even trip.
Shit, you on the way to the shot, I'll link you up with the 6. Shit, 2 Glocks, shawty wrong, yeah, you gon' rap them stick. And I know your ass on parole, so 2 Glocks in the dip. And I heard blood turn crip, Olympic medal, how you flip? Damn. AT, put me on them Detroit bitches.
That shit gon' be easy, only thing they hate is decoy niggas. You ain't gotta check in the hotel, my nigga just come to the crib. As far as the hoes, you fucking off rip, they know who you is. Tell Booker I'ma get him a bitch, they got her some paper. Cause rich hoes love real niggas, they don't need them to save her. I'ma get up with you later, I gotta go see my agent. Next time I come to the shop, make sure you return the favor.
I'ma return it, put on the condom, she burning.
How the fuck you know she burning?
Shit, I heard that she burning. Hey, she must don't know me yet. Think I buy Birkin bags. Bitch, yo little twerking ass. You ain't even worth a bag. No. I got vulture hoes.
You do?
They be slutty as shit.
For real?
Some be sipping lean.
How much?
Cup be muddy as shit.
Damn.
Got too many friends.
Oh, yeah.
Bitch too buddy and shit.
That's crazy.
She don't bring up her past.
She don't.
I know she fucking him.
But she don't fuck with him.
For real?
That hoe be stealing from him.
Yeah.
Cool little bitch from the hood, but don't get the feeling this bitch. She hit the mall every day.
Finesse.
She just be getting me shit.
Finesse.
That cause she ain't gotta pay. She play with the giffies and shit. Facts, facts.
I'ma put you on my scammer, bitch.
I'ma put you on my savage bitch.
I'ma put you on my Hooper, bitch.
I'ma put you on my Uber bitch.
I'ma put you on my shooter, bitch.
I'ma put you on this tutor bitch.
I'ma put you on my Cougar, bitch.
I'ma put you on this Hooper bitch.
I'ma put you on my bad hoe.
That hoe be hanging with fags and she want a bag, she be in her bag though. I hit that until her bag, bro. She want me to be her backbone. That pussy I do the dash for. She know a young nigga cash low. She gon' pop out when her man home. I just want some head, my baby don't act slow. Right after this, you know you going back home. You about to go kiss on that nigga, you dead wrong.
You talking threesome for them flights, I'ma pay for them. Don't fuck on the first night, you going to H&M. You lost so many times, feel like you hate to win. My first time fucking that little hoe, I'ma break it in. 100,000 worth of jewels, that's how I made it in. 30,000 for a show, that's why I gave her 10. K, that's my bae. I know these niggas laugh me in her DM every day. But wait, let me talk. I just gave my bro your number, y'all should go and talk. Link up, smoking fuck. Don't be shy, no, open up. Bitch, you basic, extra cash, bitch, you crazy. You know I'm crazy, let my side bitch wear your brace. She got on Gucci track pants, come and give me lap dance. I'm just tryna pop out, feel like Katie got band. Oh, get naked for me. Oh, get naked for me. Take your pants off and get reckless for me. I'm just tryna pop. Me and T inside that room, but them bitches gon' get Becky to it. Yeah. I got vulture hoes. You do? They be slutty as shit. For real? Song be sippin' lean. How much? Cup be muddy as shit. Damn. Got too many friends. Oh, yeah. Bitch too buddy and shit. She don't bring up her past. I know she fucking him.
But she don't fuck with him. That hoe be stealing from him. Yeah. Cool little bitch from the hood, but don't get the feeling this bitch. She hit the mall every day. She just be getting me shit. That cause she ain't gotta pay. She play with the giffies and shit. I got a bitch in the jigs. She used to give me her checks. Gotta stay tight down there for a nigga. She just be giving me nick. She a little down ass bitch. Had to go get her a bag. She told him she wanted that big O. That little bitch sick in the head. First time hit my college bitch, I tried breaking her bed. She got insomnia, but her orgasm make it easy to rest. She got a quad, that's 4 roommates, so we had to wait till they left. And she got tired of eating on campus. Brought her a plate from the chef. Like, eat up. I know. I just be laughing at that shit, bro. I hear this shit all the time. Motherfuckers just be talking, bro. You gonna hear that shit, though, especially when you poppin'. Hey. T, an industry nigga. He ain't gon' fire no shots. That nigga be touring and making millions. He ain't gon' plot on the ops. He be with J-Rock and Dory. Them niggas gon' rob and watch. When he go to sleep and wake back up, he ain't gon' find his wife. I'm T Grizzly uncle. I taught him how to rap like that. I ain't fuck with him in prison, but he ain't gotta act like that. I heard he can't go on the east side. I heard he into it with his squad. I heard all that shit got squashed. I heard he got tension with Raekwon. I'm T Grizzly cousin. I'm T Grizzly auntie. I ain't fuck with him in 3 years. Ain't sent him no letters or money. Ever since he came home, that nigga be acting like fuck me. I know I ain't hold him down, but he did a crime, it wasn't me. I'm T Grizzly killer. For bro, I go get on all them niggas. They in they feelings cause he ain't fucking with them. And they can't call that nigga. But he couldn't call them niggas. He look out for all his niggas. Even after he fall out with them, keep telling bro, fuck all them niggas for real, nigga.
Hey look, I ain't gonna even lie, bro. You know that shit about me too, you know. And this the type of shit come with you them niggas, boy. Real fucking vultures, yeah. Why Dirk be hanging with Regan? Heard Dirk can't go on his block. Me too. He be in all type of drama. I heard he got Bernie shot. How Dirk BD for real? He ain't shit like his pops. His daddy a gangster for real. He got a baby with thoughts. How the fuck he shine like that? He think he better than us. I think he fucked that op bitch. She tried to set him up.
Welcome to the
we apply, son, soak this shit up. If it was sex, son, you probably smoke this shit up. So wake the fuck up, we'll get broke the fuck up. Broke the fuck up. Broke the fuck up.
Welcome to the WTFU America Show with your host Jizo and Tom Harazo.
What up?
Welcome
what up?
to.
Oh, what is you doing?
Yo, man.
Did you hit something?
Yeah, that was me. I was trying to
Do what? I don't know what you was doing over there, man. We had it set up, man. We've been talking about this for days. How you gonna hit the button once?
Nah, it was a glitch. It was a glitch.
All right, yeah. It was in the Matrix. So today is Tuesday, March 13th. It's 7:00, 1900, as we say in military time. Thanks for listening. I know we don't have a big audience right now, but if you guys, hopefully you'll get a chance to listen to this on the rebroadcast and still pull something away from it. So Jizo wanted to actually, after we got off last week, Jizo wanted to, he forgot a couple things, that he feels is real important. So, we're going to basically do that little tidying up today, and then we're gonna move on to some stuff that I wanted to talk about, some stuff that I've been observing. I want to kind of put it out there. And we'll get into that. So basically, what I want to get into is some racial issues that are going on. Obviously, a lot of it's happening now today in America. But I kind of want to go about it a little bit differently. Get into a little history. Hopefully it won't be boring for you guys, so bear with us. So with that being said, what up with that? We had a fake ass snowstorm today, which was ridiculous. Kind of effed up the little economy. Sometimes because people don't go to school, they don't go to work. They don't go shopping, this, that, and the third, and kind of messed up our plans or whatever. So, but whatever, we're here, so that's good. But so Gizo, you ready?
Yeah, I was just like I said last week, we was talking about I was talking about, but you were joining me in the children soldiers in Africa, the blood diamonds, how basically they just those warlords were just like killing families, like not the whole family, of course. They kill the father, rape the mother, take the children, especially the boys. But I wanted to just I went doing the research, and I was talking to a friend. He's like, "Daddy, why you ain't talk about those girls that get kidnapped?" And I was like, "Oh shit!"
So, in a way, it's like you were talking about something a little. Obviously, the African with the warlords. Yeah. I guess we would call those are secular, right? Secular meaning non-religious. You know what I mean? With the traditional warlords, but it's kind of like what you and your boy, I guess, were discussing. Is like you didn't talk about these secular or non-secular. I always get it confused. Secular, I think secular is not religious. Non-secular is religious. So I guess you didn't get into the secular stuff. Yeah. The religious groups that are out there, and that's what you wanted to pick up with today.
Yeah. So like these guys are Boko Haram, which is I'm having conflicting, because I'm checking different sites, and I thought it meant when I was looking on one side, it said Boko Haram means Western education is a sin. Basically, they're kidnapping women or young ladies at the age of 11 or 12 because they're saying that it's done for their soldiers that been taken by the government, the Nigerian government over there. But for the most part, they're saying that they don't want these women to learn Western education. They don't want to learn how to read or write. They just want them to basically learn how to serve their husbands or men. And a lot of the young ladies that are kidnapped are basically, some of them are Christian and they're just taught to, study Islam, become Islam, and they're married off. And but I just wanted to talk about why the United States, why is it, like you're getting pressure from Nigeria and global pressure to go in there and find these young ladies, which is crazy. I mean, imagine over here, that's another thing I'm trying to relate to America with, you young ladies out there when you think shit is rough. I mean, imagine going to school and some soldiers just come to your school and just, or, college. Man, yeah, let's say a college university, because they're mostly hitting up universities over there, like little schools that are teaching them because they don't want them to learn. And that's where they're hitting them up at. And they just come in and take your ass out. And what else you want to do but just go with them, and then you never seen again. And some escape, some die. And it's just a sad situation. So over here, that never happens. I mean, I never heard. Have you ever heard of that, Tom? Or
what?
Kidnapping of hundreds of
nah, man.
In America,
that stuff doesn't happen here in America. Now we have heard of when it comes to we've had some crazy race riots in this country. Like we talked about that a little bit, maybe between ourselves, maybe on air, where you're talking like Black Wall Street. And what was that? Was that in Oklahoma? Black Wall Street. I forget the town it was. I thought it was in Oklahoma. Was it Tulsa?
I think it was Tulsa.
I think it was. So I mean, you're talking about like from what I remember reading was like 10,000 angry white people, essentially, for lack of a better word, tearing up a whole damn part of a town, you know what I mean, burning it to the ground. Or a mob, it could have been a few hundred. I need to look up the details, but that was stuff, in the 1930s, stuff like that. And that didn't happen. That happened more. Actually happened more than once. It happened in Florida. It happened in Georgia. Literally just whole parts of towns getting destroyed. On some racial shit. But that's different than what you're talking about, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, shit. Like You know, and it's like crazy because you know, this one dude on you ever go on that site? Excuse me, I'm pronouncing it wrong. Quora.
Quora, yeah, I've seen it a couple times. I probably read a couple articles. It's like they do a lot of statistics, right?
Yeah, so it was like, why doesn't the U.S. send special forces to rescue the Nigerian girls from their Boko Haram captors? And you know, there's one guy, you know, he calls himself Dan Holiday. I am an American. This was like when the first time these young ladies got kidnapped was like in 2014. It was like about 276 of them, almost 300. And I think about 57 of them escaped. But he was saying that because special forces aren't best suited for these kinds of situations, the FBI is already there, which it's a whole article where you click on it. But I mean, I understand. I mean, people don't want to hear that. You know, you hear little girls, you think like, how you know how the greatest military force in the planet can't go in there and just kill these motherfuckers and swoop them up. So I mean, it's a kind of complex, which I'm gonna explain that right now, where basically, you know, actually Tillerson is over there with the president trying to negotiate because
Tillerson who?
Rex Ryan.
You heard the news, right? Man, you haven't been listening. You know he got fired today, right?
Oh yeah. I did, yeah. But this was like,
oh, that was back when it was.
Well,
right? Yeah.
You know what? This is. I think. Let me see. I don't think that was like in 2014 because Tillerson wasn't.
Nah, I mean this started 2017.
Yeah. So this had to be like well, it says why we chose to negotiate with Boko Haram. This was the Daily Trust. Come on, give me a date, motherfucker. I mean, excuse me, that's my first curse.
Yo, come on.
It don't show a curse here. I mean, it don't show a date. But anyway, they were negotiating because basically that's the best way for the girls to come back alive. You know, that's why they don't want to just send special forces in there and just go ape doodle. You know that's not a curse. Ape doodle. Ape shit ain't a curse. Ape shit. They because you know they would kill these girls. They would like basically in layman's terms they don't want to send these special forces in this. It's a whole bunch of logistic and political and you know heavy losses. How you know it got strategic issues like people are like how many losses would be you know from the Nigerian army, from the U.S. Army. And you know it's like, and how many girls would get killed in the process. So basically, the truth is, all of the hostage rescues in Nigeria in the past 3 years, hostages were killed on the spot. So it's like, I guess they're figuring like they got drones in the air, they got jet fighters. Like even like 2 weeks ago, there was like 110. They did it again. They kidnapped some more children from the school, and it's like, you know. But I'm just gonna go into a little bit why they're not doing it, because some people like I just heard this lady over there that's like a I guess she's an activist. I can't remember her name. She was like, you know, they're marching just like how we protest over here for shit. They protesting over there for you know, which I would, you know, I mean, imagine your daughter at that. I mean, son too, but you know, daughter is more fragile when you think of a daughter getting kidnapped from you, shit.
So your position is we should be doing something.
Well, yeah, right? It's kind of like.
But so you're not.
I'm in between because. Okay. I you know, before I did the research, I'm like, well, maybe we should be doing something. Why not? I'm like, we'll do something, you know, when of course we got interest in that country to, you know, we'll try to help them out, but then we have a underlying cause, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, but with this, I kind of see, you know, I guess if we had an underlying cause or that all this shit would be like negated. But it's saying that let me see, hold on right here. Washington has been reluctant to organize a rescue for political, practical, logistical and organizational reasons. It'll be dangerous, you know, because it has Al-Qaeda related extremist groups that have conquered that territory in eastern Syria and western Iraq. You know, it'd be a humanitarian benefit, but you know, it's just that it's just too dangerous. I mean, like they said, it can go. It's operations like this that can go real bad. You know what I'm saying? If it was pretty easy, they they would probably waive it off. I mean, they wouldn't waive it off, but it's like, you know, it's just not like it'll be heavy casualties, you know, like, and plus, you know, what the objective is to get all these girls home safe, and more than likely they would just, you know, you think about it, if they're in the jungle or in the bush and they hear forces closing in on them, they probably are gonna just go and fucking kill everybody, you know?
Yeah, because they you know, they keep them close, you know, so it's not like they're saying, oh, they're off in a building over here safe. Yeah. They're gonna be right there in their encampment. You know, and if shit pops, so say like you said with a drone, you know, you try to use a drone, so say a Hellfire missile. You know, the guys you're basically gonna wind up, you know, killing some of these women, some of the girls. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's another nightmare. And then what happens? We killed, you know, these women. You know what I mean? That's all that's gonna be remembered.
Yeah.
You know, and remember they don't have media. A lot of times, you know, the folks out there don't have the same access to media like we do. You know, if some shit pops off, okay, our local, and we don't know what's going on, our local news hopefully will give us the straight scoop and let us know, okay, oh, this is what happened. Oh, all right, now we know what happened. But what happens out there, we go and attack, you know what I mean, and Boko Haram gets to spin it off.
Yeah.
You know, because they're the ones, you know, taking over radio stations, they're taking over local media, so they get to paint the narrative and say, you know, no, it wasn't, you know, we were just gonna, you know what I'm saying, we took the women, but we weren't trying to get them killed or nothing like that. We were trying to just train them in the ways of, you know, Islam.
Yeah.
You know, and here come the Americans and shot everybody up, you know, and then everyone hates us, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And sometimes I don't know if we can always be the police of the world, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it's like kind of like the Black Panther movie, you know, Wakanda, you know, they, you know, black, you know, the father, you know, if y'all didn't, well, if y'all didn't see it by now, y'all should be a damn shame of yourself. You should have went and saw the damn movie. So, oh yeah, you ain't see it. Right?
I did see
you
it.
Saw it.
Yeah, I saw it.
All right, so I could say it now. Spoiler alert. So you know it's just basically how the father, because it was different messages in that movie. You know, the father, you know, he didn't, you know, he wanted to keep everything on the low. You know, he's like, nah, let's keep the vibranium. We don't want people to know what kind of power we got. And then when the son, you know, well, it was Lupita Longo, no, Lupita Nyong'o. She wanted, you know, she was going out in the world trying to help. Like, yo, we could do so much better. And then, you know, Black Panther, the dude that played Black Panther, he was conflicted between, you know, his soon-to-be queen and his father. He was like, yo, and then that's when my dude Michael B. Jordan, Killmonger, he was like, yo, man, we need to use this shit. But it was a whole different story why he really wanted it. But he was basically going something like, yo, we get this shit, we going to, you know, get all of our oppressed brothers out of this, you know, like basically what we going through now, you know, like, it wouldn't have been no slavery probably if it wasn't real Wakanda. Motherfuckers would be like, oh yeah, you know what I'm saying? But that's a whole nother story. But I just think that yeah, it is hard to have a great power and then like people are looking at you like, you know, you know, oh, why don't you do this? But then when you do something and it goes wrong, then everybody's pointing fingers at you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But
So-
it's just a tragedy. I just wanted to touch on that from last week because you know I'm talking about all these warlords and he has killed a lot of people. He has killed a lot of children and a lot of people, especially in 2014, like in the thousands. He's like, you know, that Boko. I used to think when I heard Boko Haram, I thought it was a guy, but the actual leader, he got some long-ass name, and I don't feel like going through all these articles to find his name. But basically, you know, he's the one that's kidnapping mostly school girls. And
Right.
and it's nothing. I mean, he probably got at least 100 or 200 of them. It seems like when he loses like 50 or 100, he goes and snatches another. I mean, and, you know, he probably holds them for negotiation purposes too, because supposedly the Nigerian government has some of his soldiers and some of his soldiers' families locked up, and he supposedly he's trying to get a trade off. But you know, like you know how we don't negotiate with terrorists, so they probably got the same thing over there. Like we not negotiating.
No, that's what we say.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But the reality is we actually do. Ronald Reagan did it, as a matter of I don't even want to go in on him again.
Ronald.
But he basically traded, you know, hostages for weapons, you know, back in the 80s. So he was a dirty little, like you would say, dirty vato. Freaking man. But
I just want to say, I mean, because it's still early. Oh damn, 15 minutes away. So it's like I just like, you know, we both fathers, like that shit has just got to be so fucking hard, man. I mean, excuse me, second curse word. I'm gonna get the square jaw like Madison is. Square coins. Throw the nickel in it. Nah, but it's just crazy just to think about it. Like, you know, yo, people just it's like over here we kind of spoiled. Like, I mean, it's stuff that happens over here that's really messed up. But yo, and I guess you could say that's like almost like a third world country. Yeah, it's like a third world country.
Yeah,
even though they have schools and stuff.
Third world is an old term. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I still try to remind people. I mean, it's tough to get away from, but those I forget when those terms came into play. First world, second world.
Yeah, what's the second world?
Second world, basically, it's just a little bit, you know, worse than the first world, right? You know, but now, you know, like in political science, we use, you know, basically high income, middle income, and low income countries. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So depending on what country you're talking about, and I had a map up earlier, Gizo, I'll flash it again. I know you don't really have since you don't really have your gear with you today.
You understand?
I'm gonna flash this map of Africa. It actually shows where Al Qaeda has power, Boko Haram and Al Shabaab. You didn't mention Al Shabaab, but
Shish kebab? You said shish kebab?
Al Shabaab, freaking. But yeah, so depending on what country you're from, if you're from Sudan, I think Sudan is one of the poorest, countries. So obviously that would be a low income country, you know what I mean? Or, in the old term, third world. But, you got places like Nigeria that are doing better. Obviously South Africa is probably the wealthiest, I would say. But you also have Egypt as well, Morocco.
Morocco.
Libya had oil, so they had some wealth as well.
I heard Egypt is not doing that good, right?
I mean, they had bad. Well, that's what led to the whole Arab Spring. Their unemployment was so bad. Their youth unemployment was like, I think, some crazy number. I heard it was like 60-70% of the youth were unemployed. So of course, they're like, yo, what the F? The government, you guys got to do something.
That president got overthrown years because I remember my dude had to get his family up out of there, and I had a customer that just came back from South Africa. Remember I told you I got. He had his luggage in the truck.
You were telling me about the story.
Yeah, man. He was like, yo, it's like, it's like 70% blacks and 30% whites, but you know how it is over there with the breaking in of houses and shit. They have walls and barbed wire fences with, where you could get electrocuted. So he was like, there's some white families that get mutilated over there because these black guys are still mad about apartheid, get a hold of them, and he's like,
South Africa?
Yeah, South Africa. He's like, it's fucked up, but damn, it's messed up, but it is what it is. It's just like saying, I mean, slavery's been done for 100-some years, but it's like, it's just like saying I get a hold of if I'm really charged up of a, I know that somebody in the South, used to have plantations, and I'm like, yo, I'm just going to kill this dude.
Well, did you hear about? Yeah, I mean, obviously there's that friction that still remains, that hostility.
Definitely,
But did you hear about South Africa? I think I don't know if it was their Congress. Basically, they just passed a law. They're gonna, I guess they're gonna seize land from white farmers. You know what I mean? And basically
I heard about that. Yeah,
you know what I mean? So
I
wish they could have figured out a different way, because I still, at the end of the day, I want. I want that country to be peaceful. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And I wish they could kind of live together side by side, kind of like. But at the same time, it's tough to say it's water under the bridge. You know what I mean? Like in a way we've never in a way we've never done what they're. Maybe they looked at us as an example, and said, well, America never got their. They never gave their African Americans their just due, right? Black folk their just due in America, right? We talk about 40 acres and a mule, right? And that was just a field order. You know what I mean? That never got put through. So maybe they're looking at it like, look, America effed up. You know what I mean? And that's why their situations like that, their African American population is in the situations that they are in. We're not gonna go down that route. We're gonna handle it, because if you actually look at it, when did apartheid get officially lifted from the government, from the South African government? It was just in our lifetimes. You know what I mean? So if we actually look at that event that happened, that was like the Emancipation Proclamation happened 15, 20 years ago. And that's when you need to do, that's when you need to make those bold steps and say, no, you know what? We have to right this wrong. We're not going to be talking about this 100 years down the line. We're going to take care of it now.
Y'all listening to this shit? He preaching, man. Yeah, I'm trying not to curse, but this some real shit. We ain't talking. Nah, I don't want to get.
Yeah, man.
Nah, this some real shit right here, though. But,
shout out to DJ Blockchain too, man. You got to let us know when you're going to have company. You know what I'm saying? Some special guests listening in, so we could turn down the little bit of ignorant stuff that we might say from time to time.
We keep it 100. But, we trying to talk about real stuff, but sometimes I got to, I can't just talk straight political science. I mean,
that's why you're the woke voice of the people.
I'm the woke voice of the people, and I can't, sometimes, times be going in like I feel like in a lesson, political science 101, it's some good lessons he be teaching me, though, but it's like sometimes I just got to, like, yo, man, I would have, you know what I'm saying? But shout out to DJ Blockchain. I remember he was like, yo, man, I think I did the Dave Chappelle when I was singing like that R. Kelly shit, and he was like, "Yo, as soon as I tell someone to listen to these cats, they do some bullshit." But
all right, so we gotta outsource that stuff.
Yeah. So what you wanted to get into white supremacy.
White supremacy. You know, I've been, I'm always, checking shit out, watching videos, this, that, and the third, kind of seeing where the situation is going.
Yo, we about to get on some American History X in here?
Nah, I don't want to go that route. That movie was really in your face. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that shit was like,
you know, I came across a and actually, this lady that I'm gonna be kind of referencing kind of throughout, and her name is Jacqueline Bat-Laura, as a matter of fact. So she wrote a book. So we're gonna actually, all right, so you're good on the Africa stuff, right? No, you're good. Yeah, you're done with it. All right.
I mean, yeah, there's nothing else to really. I mean,
you just wanted to clean up there. I know you wanted.
It's like a stalemate with that right now. They can't do anything. I mean, what are they gonna do?
Right.
Are they gonna go in there and like you said, the mission gets messed up.
Right.
They blame us for like killing more people than would it not got killed if we just would have left it alone. I mean, they got drones and all that. Like you said, I know they got drones watching them, but as soon as they shoot them, like you said, they probably so close to the woman, they going to kill. I mean, and to sneak up on them, it would probably take even if they snuck up on them, they probably got orders from they generals like, yo, it's a suicide mission. If they come up on us, we just gonna have to kill everybody and just go all out. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. This is sad. It's a sad situation, but
and nothing's stopping at the same time. Nothing's really stopping Americans from going over there and fighting. Look at what's happening in Syria. You got Americans that are traveling to other countries. I actually watched a documentary on Discovery maybe 2-3 weeks ago. This lady from Canada. I don't know if she's from Canada or she's from America. But bottom line is, like, she decided she wanted to go fight with the women in Syria.
What?
This is a Caucasian lady. So she's like, yo, I can't get into Syria from this. So basically she finds a country that she can fly into Syria. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a lot of countries that are like, yo, there's no flights from, like, for instance, U.S. to Syria. Like, if you try to go on JetBlue, or whatever, you know what I mean? So they're like, yo, we're not going to Syria. So she found she had to hop around, find the right country that will fly into Syria still. You know what I mean? And she did. You know what I mean? She's like, I went from here to here. I took a bus ride, from this country to this country, got on a plane, and then I met up, because she was talking to the recruiters or whatever. You know what I mean?
So she's over there fighting with who?
She's fighting with these fighters that are against, basically Al Qaeda in Syria. You know what I'm saying? Or ISIL, or what they call ISIS.
Damn, she on some shit.
Yeah, she went over. She never served military, anything like that. She lost mad weight. She was like, yo, I gotta go. Like, I'm losing, because they don't have a lot of meat out there. You know what I mean? Like, these girls are basically eating like pita bread every day, pita bread and water. So she's like, yo, I'm not used to that. You know what I mean? Like, I eat meat. I don't eat a lot, but she.
Oh, so she went out there, but then she had to leave. Did she fight any?
Yeah. Matter of fact, they made her a sniper. You know what I mean? Her sniper skills were questionable to me, but whatever. You know what I'm saying? She had a big ass dragon off rifle. You know what I mean? And
they showed videos.
Yeah, she was out there, you know what I mean, doing her thing, shooting or whatever. Damn. You know what I mean? So it was an all female like platoon. But anyway, so she went back to Canada. You know what I mean? She kind of rested up, got her head right, started eating. You know what I'm saying? And then she was like, yo, I got to go back out there, and she went back out there. So what I offer to you is, I don't think there's anything. And I'm not saying I'm advocating this. There's nothing really saying, basically get from 100 brothers, if you will. You know what I'm saying? From going to Africa. You know what I'm saying? And getting it on their own.
Wakanda. Yo, I need a Black Panther suit with all that vibration. Because if I go over there, I don't think I'm coming back. So I want to say it like that. But imagine being in the bush where you got like scorpions and snakes and all types of crazy. First of all, you got to deal with the elements and the nature. Forget it. Don't even talk about the enemy.
Yeah.
And if you're not used to that jungle warfare, I mean, damn, like
I heard it gets so hot out there, man, that you can't even do shit. You know what I mean? Like, pretty much you gotta sit under a tree. You know what I mean? Like sub-Saharan Africa, like, it's too hot during the day to really, you know what I mean? Like, if you you can't just be walking around like that. You know what I mean?
Just drop. Sometimes I be feeling like when it's hot over here, I'm gonna drop, and I be like, I'm gonna sit my ass down.
That climate, man, will do something real nasty to you, man.
All right, we going to what you was talking about.
Getting back to what the hell I was talking about.
White supremacy.
Yeah, so with this white supremacy, anyways, I'm about to flash this book up here, Birth of a White Nation. So she was on this lady.
I heard about that book.
You heard about it? Okay. So Jacqueline Bat-Laura, she was doing a podcast with I didn't even catch the dude's name. That's followed me. But anyways, I was really paying attention to what she was saying, and the stuff that she was talking about, like, I pretty much have gathered from from other, you know what I mean, books, from several books that I've read, you know, the 400-year history of white trash in America, a different mirror by Ronald Takaki, which shows, which tells a lot. That's one of my favorite books, like one of my go-to books about how everyone basically got in this country. You know what I mean? Yeah. Chinese, Japanese, Irish, African American, obviously, or black people. You know, freaking Latino people, how we got here. You know, basically, it's like a human geography. You know, book. So from all these different books that I've read, I pretty much gathered, you know, essentially what Jackie Bat Laura has been saying. But what I like about her book is that freaking she actually gets real precise with it. You know what I mean? Now she's saying birth of a white nation, and basically the premise is that freaking white is an invention. That term, a white person, is pretty much an invention. Right. And you know what's funny is I was watching, you know, because I go back, I look at the chats, and I want to see the commentary. You know, we haven't got a chance really to open up the phone lines, and hopefully we will start doing that soon to get that, try to get that real response. But, you know, I'm looking at it, you know, I looked at, and shout out to Lumo the Great, but, you know, Lumo saying, yeah, you know, Democrats, Republicans, politicians, they're here, something to that effect. Don't take that as a direct quote, but, you know, they're just dividing us, you know what I mean? And I agree, for sure. I definitely agree that they use division to kind of, you know, rule over us, so to speak. I don't for my part, I don't pretty much throw up my hands and I'm like, oh well, I'm done with it. I'm not gonna F with it, because I feel like we can get in the party, and we actually can change the party. Believe it or not, you know, these parties are not solid. They can be infiltrated, so to speak. You know what I mean? We just have to want to do it. So anyways, with Jackie Battle Laura, so she kind of takes us back to the history of when it was started. When in our text, in our legal text, we start seeing, you know, a white person, you know what I mean, or listed down as people listed down as white, you know what I mean, and it kind of started with basically, matter of fact, I got a little, it's not a graphic, but it's the actual text here, and this will freaking, let me see here.
I remember something that I was reading, and it says that, like you said, that white term is made up because, you know, everybody's like, say you got a Russian. You might have an Italian. I mean, Asian, you know, some of them could pass, you know, depending on how, if they don't really look Asian. But even some Spanish people that look, you know, almost white.
Right.
You know, and then, like, when a black person comes into that's when it's like, it's kind of like you know what I'm saying? It's like they're different nationalities until, like, okay, now a black person comes in, so then white becomes like that. Okay, you know, so I'm white, so I'm better than you, like. It's some book on audible.com. I got it with it, but it kind of made sense because it's like, yo, you know, some white people are, you know, that are, you know, over here. They, you know, whether they're Russian or they, you know, they might be in America the last 20 years or Italian or something, like, motherfucker, you came over here, you know, basically even like or European, like you fucking European, either European,
right.
You know. The fucking Native Americans, the Indians, that the ones that y'all slaughtered, those are the ones that are really Americans. Like, everybody else came over here, so it's like
everyone else is an immigrant, you know.
Yeah,
so.
you know, and even with the, like, you was getting back, but I'll let you finish with the white thing.
No, well, yeah, I mean, so with the white, you know, of course, like you said, you got all the, you know, all the different ethnicities and nationalities that come over from Europe, and now they're pretty much put under, you know, one umbrella, which is white. You know what I mean? But here, and I got this flashing up on the video, is 1664, all right, Maryland slave law. Basically, this right here, Jizo, was one of the first times that anyone ever said that, you know what, being a slave is going to be for life. You know what I mean? Because before, slaves weren't for life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, you pretty much did an indenture. You know, just like a lot of Irish people, like you would work for 7 years. You basically work off, you know, how much you're, you know, in the slave sense, and how much your master paid for you, and then you would go free. You know what I mean? But there's a lot behind why they decided to change that. But actually, as we look at here at the text a little bit closer, you start to see this is the beginning of anti-miscegenation, right? So this is, they don't want
whoa,
anti-miscegenation.
What that mean, man? Come on,
anti-miscegenation is basically what anti-miscegenation means, which is a little bit different from this, but I'm kind of going around here in circles. Anti-miscegenation is basically interracial marriage. It's basically it's a ban on interracial marriage.
Oh, ban
right.
on interracial
Right.
marriage.
So
Okay.
here in 1664 in Maryland, they're already starting something like it. They're basically saying, English women, we don't want you marrying slaves, because this was actually happening. You know what I mean?
Oh,
So
wow.
they didn't write this law for any reason. That no one writes laws, you know what I'm saying, for some shit that they think's gonna happen. So the elites, and because there wasn't a lot of women to go around, there was a lot of dudes working. You know what I mean? So they sitting there like, yeah, go ahead,
You
jump
know
in.
what they say? Once you go black, you never go back.
Well, you know, and they kind of, you know, what's funny? This law actually says is basically because this is what the law is saying here is you marry so say you're an English woman, you marry a slave, what they call here a Negro slave. You now belong to that slave's master. Now you're his, and any kid you have is gonna be also a slave, just like his father and just like you. So you see that they're going a certain way here with this shit. So that's how they kind of start. Now they said the key here that I want everyone to pull away is that they said English woman. Okay, so right now it's English. You know, at the time that obviously meant a white woman from England. You know what I mean? There weren't a lot of black women. You know, at that time it wasn't until later where England would start to have, you know, a relatively decent sized black population. You know what I mean? So okay, we started off with that basically. You know. White women, essentially, stay away from these black dudes, you know, or you're gonna go down the same
If
route.
you don't want that D, stay away.
Or is that D worth it? Basically, to say, yo, is that D
I know, right?
really worth being a slave for life? You know what I'm saying?
Master, it's bigger than yours. Nah, all right, go on.
So as we move on now, I'm gonna jump to 1691. Now is the first time we ever see here in America. You know what I mean? It actually says white women now. Why? Because it said British women, and it also, because now we're getting in workers, like domestic workers. We're getting them in from Portugal. We're getting them in from Ireland. So now they're like, well, wait, now we can't say British, you know what I mean? Because we got all these other women here. You know what I mean? So, and they're basically saying the same thing. If you intermarry, you know what I mean? It's going, you're going to be in some shit. And so the Virginia law of 1691 said, they actually gave them a little break. They said, if you do marry, you know, to a Negro slave, you know what I'm saying? You have to leave. You got to leave Virginia. You know what I mean? You got 3 months to leave. You know what I'm saying? Freaking.
So they want them to leave. How they still going to be? So they said they left, but I thought you said in the beginning like if they married, then the slave master owns them.
Well, these are, keep in mind, this is colonial America. So Maryland came up with that first law that I was telling you about.
Okay, that was Maryland.
Right.
Okay,
So Maryland came up with the first law. Now we're talking Virginia. A few years later, you know, 1691. So now they're saying, yo, freaking, you got 3 months to leave. You know what I mean? And there's a whole bunch of other rules that go with that. So now we're kind of seeing the beginning of what of like the foundation of white supremacy. Basically, there's rule there. You know, well, the first one right off the rip said, because like I said, slavery, when you were what they call the Negro slave, right? You weren't in there for life. It took this law in 1664 to, you know, before when you were a slave, you could, you know, work, you know, you work your indenture, whatever it is, you know what I'm saying, 7 years, 10 years. Then you were a free black man. You go marry yourself a white woman, whatever, try to get a farm, try to get on, you know what I'm saying, freaking. But then they was like, yo, and the reason why they did that is because they needed population control. They started to realize like, yo, wait, there's a lot of black people now here in America. Yo, and they're marrying a lot of white women. You know what I mean? There's not a lot of white women to go around. It's like they started looking like at the landscape, and they're like, damn, you know what I mean? And now we're having all these mulatto kids, right? What they call mulattoes, and shit is getting crazy. You know what I mean? The color line is starting to disappear. You know what I mean? Oh, go ahead, Jizo. Jizo's about to F with his mic, so I muted him real quick. So stuff's getting crazy. So now when you start carving out special rules for people, you know what I mean? Some rules for some people, because mind you, it doesn't say anything in either two of these laws, sets of laws here that what's going to happen to indentured people, right? So you're talking about your Irish, your Portuguese, whoever, all these different people that are coming here on indentured servitude. You know what I mean? They're still good. They can do whatever they want after they're done with their servitude. You good?
Yeah.
All right, good. Jizo's up. He's standing up now. So again, this is kind of like I feel like this is the basis for, you know, this is actually what Jackie Bat Laura is arguing. You know, she's sitting there saying like, this is how we're starting. for the first time ever, we start to see this thing white. You know what I mean?
Lady Jackie, she's white or black?
She's a white lady. She's actually Scottish. She was born in Scotland. But she's a lawyer here in America. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So
how long ago this book came out?
Not that long ago. I think actually it might be a 2014 book. But she's still out there talking about. She's a professor. You know what I mean? She's a lawyer. She talks about the book all the time. She does appearances, colleges or whatever. I still need to read the book for myself. So, okay, moving along here. Let me see what else I got for you guys. So, but basically, now I don't have a slate for this one, but so in between when they come up with the essentially what is the anti-miscegenation law, which is basically we got to stop, black guys from marrying white women.
Yeah.
In between that, you had this thing called Bacon's Rebellion.
Rebellion.
Bacon was a dude. Bacon was a white dude. I think he was an Irish cat. You know what I'm saying? Freaking. But what wound up happening is he got some black slaves.
Yeah.
He wound up getting some other Irish dudes that were pissed off at the elites. See now. And this is what it's all about. It's basically the haves versus the have-nots. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that
that's a show, right?
Nah. On what? Showtime?
Some kind of it's supposed to be good. It's like some drama on one of them. Yeah, Showtime, one of the have and the have-nots.
But you know what? I think I might have heard of it actually.
Because when you said it, I'm like, huh?
Yeah, but it's about the haves and have-nots, and that's where they invented. That's when they try to create this racial division. So that, like, for instance, me and you, right? I'm Hispanic. You know what I mean? You're black. You know what I mean? So how do they? Obviously, a politician's gonna want to keep us from joining up together and go against him. So he's got to come up with some shit. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna separate us. He might get in your ear, Geez, those Hispanics don't really like black people, right? They're racist off top, right? He might get in my ear, like, you don't really want to be like black people. You see, come on, you see what's going on with them. Do you want that type of shit? Cause those divisions. So this shit's been happening for hundreds of years.
Yeah, divide and conquer.
Exactly. You know what I mean? So, so basically, Bacon's Rebellion, what'd he do? He got some slaves, black slaves. He got some Irish people that were pissed off because they had no land. They basically were living, in squalor. You know what I mean? Making no bread. So they were like, yo, we're gonna rebel. Basically, we're going up north. We kicking any fucking landowner's ass that we see that gets in our path. You know what I mean? Like, we want ours.
Yeah.
And the thing is with the indentured servitude is that when you came over here and did your 7 years, you know what I'm saying? You were supposed to get like freaking like 10 acres, 10 to 40 acres, I believe. Don't quote me on the exact, but you were because America was still young, you know what I mean? So they were like, yo, you get to pick a plot and that's you. Now you get to,
That's what they was telling slaves.
Well, the slaves, they took them by force. But the thing is with the slaves at first, and there were slaves who did get their pieces of land. See, unfortunately,
you talking about
the indentured servants.
Yeah, those were the
mostly Irish.
Irish,
You know what I mean? A lot of them were Irish.
Yeah.
So they would come. So the thing is, they would bust their ass for 7 years. Then it was like, okay, now it's time for me to go. You know what I mean? And get my land. And then the land that was left was trash. They were like, yo, what you mean? Like, this looks like this. Like you said, like the freaking like the bush. I can't grow no crop here. You know what I mean? And they're like, well. So as all the good land was taken up, basically, bottom line, all the good land was taken up. When but they still kept importing these Irish people, you know what I mean, for their labor, and eventually they got pissed.
And now some of these Irish motherfuckers act like they better.
Right, yeah, and that's where the white umbrella kicks in, you know what I mean? And that's why it's difficult to have a conversation about privilege, because of course one of the popular arguments, I don't know if you ever had this argument with anyone, but affirmative action, right? That shit drives people crazy. And don't get me wrong, I'm not 100% in love with affirmative action, but I think it has helped people who deserve opportunities, in the minority community get some shine and do well with that shit, you know what I mean? So. Mm-hmm. But of course, some people will argue, well, look at affirmative action. That isn't fair. And, and it's up to us to do the knowledge to see. We have to go back hundreds of years to find out where's the origin of white privilege, right? Where does, because white privilege, I feel like it breeds white supremacy. Because once you start getting those privileges, those special little carve outs, you start to feel better. You know what I mean? Someone comes up in here and divides us in two groups. You know what I'm saying? If they just divide us in two groups and don't say anything, we're like, okay, whatever. I'm in group A, he's in group B. It's once they come in and start saying, well, group B gets to do X, Y, and Z. You know what I'm saying? So now, off top, right off the rip, you feel better. You're like, well, shit, I got all these privileges. I must be better. You know what I mean? And obviously, if you want to keep those privileges, you're going to start acting like you're better. You know what I mean? In your mind.
Yeah, it was this book real quick. They was talking about something like that, like how like basically out west, like if you want to put it in layman's terms, where the ghost can get it, poor white trash. How it was this guy that he grew up in a family like that, and he went to some school in New York or Yale or something, and he became very rich, and but it's like talking about how his family basically, they tried to work, they probably grew up in trailer parks, but they were still basically poor, and so when you get, that's how Trump got those people out there thinking that he's going to do for them, but thinking that they're better than the average black person when basically you're on the same level. He don't really care about, it's all about money, but, he got them thinking that he's going to do all this for them when they're out there suffering. I mean, look at those people in what's it, Michigan, with that water, that dirty water.
Oh, Flint, Michigan, yeah.
Flint, Michigan, but there's a lot of places in the Midwest where fucking there's no jobs and people live in, worse than a lot of East Coast cities because they don't have any fucking jobs and this shit. And it's like, so they're like, yeah, we're over here, we don't have anything, and this is, my grandfather did this, and this is our land, and they think they just privileged to have more than without saying the word like, yo, I should have X, Y,
right.
Z.
They definitely feel entitled. That's what's funny.
Yeah, entitled,
a lot of people on the right like to say, oh, the left is entitled, but man, if you actually listen to them, man, they, a lot of people on the right, they are entitled. They just don't realize, how they're coming across as entitled. You know what I mean? They feel like they deserve, like you're saying, my grandfather this, they go back in the deep. Well, shit, let's talk about Jizo's great grandfather.
Yeah,
what the fuck did he do?
Yeah, probably serving your grandfather, and it's like,
damn them chains, man.
You know what I'm saying? It's crazy because we probably don't look at it because, I know some people be like, well, that shit happened hundreds of years ago. What you gonna do now? But some of the shit that happened hundreds, like they say, history repeats itself, and sometimes and more than often. But you have to know the history to understand what's going on today. And some people just ignorant to the fact that, well, that was back then. This is now. Okay, yeah, of course it's much better now, but just like Joe Madison was saying, it's not Jim Crow anymore. It's his cousin James Esquire Crow. It's more sophisticated. Donald Trump is not like a straight up racist. He's not Jim Crow and like, oh, you fucking Nick.
Right.
Excuse me. These
putting it out there.
He's not. Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
He's what I would call a crypto racist.
Yeah.
A crypto racist.
Cryptocurrency? I
know you're into. You're like, yo, don't f with my crypto. No, but crypto is basically when you basically you do it low key. You know what I mean? So that it's not obvious. It has to be picked up on.
Yeah.
So he he knows what he does. It's basically a wink and a nod to the extreme. To white supremacy, to racist. You know what I mean? He does it really well. Actually, I have to give him credit.
He's like in between because he got Bannon out, and now all these alt-right motherfuckers probably mad at him, and now it's like, he's still fucking with the Republicans are just fucking with him because they know that they ain't got no choice really, but
right. He's the boss. It's like a mafia. You don't go against you don't talk shit about the boss while he's in. You wait till he's dead and gone before you be like, yo, you know what? I ain't like that dude, man.
Cause I heard that somebody retired for that ICE shit. The dude that was I guess rounding up, like in charge of rounding up all the I guess the immigrants for that ICE shit. For
the immigrations and custom enforcement.
Yeah, I heard he retired because he got tired of lying and doing some shit.
Yeah,
I looked that up.
Yeah, I heard a story, but I mean, there's so many people dropping out of this administration. It's like you can't even keep. There was some dude I think today who they're invested. Now it comes out that they're investing him for financial crimes. He's one of Trump's top aides. You know what I mean? So they pulled his ass because he can't get a security clearance. So
come on, Mueller, get him out of here, man.
I know.
I heard Trump was talking to impeachment lawyers or something. You heard?
Yeah, he hired, I think, Bill Clinton's lawyer from when Bill Clinton was getting impeached. So he I think he smells what's coming. You know what I mean? So
why would he? I mean, if he has lawyers already, I mean, what's the difference having an impeachment lawyer?
The thing is, you want to have the dudes that the problem is with impeachment. It's only happened a couple times. You know what I'm saying, in our history. So there's not a lot of, it's real tough to find an expert in impeachment, right? You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
Because basically, I forget who it was. I think was it Andrew Johnson who I'm talking about like 1800s, I want to say.
Yeah.
I think he got impeached. I don't think he got removed. I forget. Yeah, I don't think he got. No president has ever been removed. You know what I mean? So it was basically that dude from a while ago, and forgive me for not knowing his name, and Bill Clinton. the two dudes two presidents to get impeached. You know, so obviously there's not a lot of talent out there when it comes to defending that. So he found out that dude was still working.
And that's all because Bill Clinton got some head, man.
Yeah, man. I mean, you know, the Republicans hated them so much, and I'm not gonna say it's not for good reason. I'm not in love with the Clintons myself. I'd prefer. I guess I basically, you know, when I voted for Hillary, you know, I put like a bag over my head. You know what I mean? Like, I'm doing this shit, but I ain't proud of it.
Yo,
you know what I mean?
You know what a cuss he told me though? That dude that went to side, he was like, you know, everybody talk about Putin, you know how he's supposed to be murks his competition or whatever.
Yeah. He puts him in jail or murks him.
Yeah, they said the Clintons. He was.
Yeah.
He was
That's that bullshit.
Yeah, he was like, yo, a lot of people that the Clintons didn't agree with, you know, nobody talks about it, but you don't see it no more. I'm like, well, I'm scratching my head.
Yeah,
like, right?
yeah, you should be like, well, where are they? Well, you didn't hear? Hillary had them all killed.
Yeah, that's what he was basically. He's like, yo, there's a lot of people that didn't, you know, rubbed him the right way, and I'm like,
yeah, man, fucking
I just gotta get this money, power, respect. Like,
I hear you.
Trying to get me.
So I'm gonna flash a bulletin here. You know, this was May 2010. No, actually, sorry. It was May 10th, 2017. Basically, Homeland Security and Department of Justice, you know, are letting people know that, you know, so I'm kind of fast forwarding from the 1600s, I know, you know, and I'm kind of jumping to the end here. You know, white supremacy or white supremacist extremism is a deadly threat. It poses a deadly threat. You know what I mean? And our government recognizes that. Now, you're not going to hear Trump. You're not going to hear, you know, Trump freaking on the campaign trail talking about, oh, yeah, and these white extremists, you know, I'm going to get Jeff Sessions to crack down on you guys. He's not going to do that because that's his core. You know, those are his number one fanboys, you know, so he'll never talk shit to them, you know, but yet they want to come out with reports talking about Black Lives Matter and black identity groups are a threat, you know, to national security. It's like, you know, come on, man. Basically, like Kendrick Lamar says, you know, miss me with that BS, you know, fucking, so... Actually, I came across something today that I found interesting. Maybe I'll wind up kind of just, you know, and end up here. I wasn't even looking for this shit, but going back to race and kind of the invention of race and how we think about race, man. Geez, I didn't even get the chance. I should have showed you. I didn't realize you weren't gonna have video on your end today. But National Geographic. Actually, I'll go ahead and flash this now. But National Geographic's next edition is called Black and White, and on the cover it features a pair of twins. You know what I mean? These are young girls. They're maybe my daughter's age, maybe 11 or 12. Mm-hmm. One is dark skin, has darker skin, I should say. She's like a light skinned black girl, and one looks like, you know, basically nearly like a white woman. You know, a white girl, I should say. There's a little tone to her or whatever, but basically they're twins. They're fraternal twins. Their father's black, their mother's white. You know what I mean? And basically one came out as like I said, like a light skinned black girl, and one came out like basically like a white girl.
Came out like Steph Curry's sister.
I gotta take a look at it. Steph
daughter,
Curry. Maybe like her daughter. You know, that's actually a good description. Yeah. You know, maybe a little lighter. You know, her hair actually looks blonde. I mean, it's blonde, like a dirty blonde to me. And I guess, if you will, the black girl in the pair, you know, has like curly brown hair. Mm-hmm. So, you know, and basically what I find interesting is, you know, with race, it's a made up, a lot of it's just made up bullshit. You know, here you got two girls that came out of the same, you know, womb at the same time. Yeah. You know what I mean? What's up, Gizo? All right, you know, so except for one would be considered, here in America at least, one would be considered black, one would be considered white. Yeah. You know, it's sad that these girls are you know, in our day and age, and I mean it's been going on for a while. They're gonna be treated differently. You know what I mean? There's no doubt about it that they're gonna be treated differently. You know what I mean? And I wish by the time they were adults, I could say, oh, don't worry about it. By the time you got in, but they're getting old already. You know what I mean? 6-7 years time, we're not going to change. You know, our society isn't going to change. Yeah. You know what I mean? Freaking.
It's sad, man, because, you know, light skin still the N word, you know.
Yeah, exactly, man. You know. And Nat Geo, you all right, man?
Nah, yeah, I was just thinking about. I'm trying not to say the N word. You know, I'm trying to stop cursing. Even though, you know, we got to bring it sometimes, but, you know, I'm trying not to be real ratchet. You know. trying to talk proper lot.
All right, good.
Proper lot.
I'm sure everyone appreciates it.
What the fuck? Nah.
So, oh man. So with these girls, you know, and they're from England. They're from England. So, you know, I wish I could say that things were going to be better in the future, but they're not. You know what I mean? People are gonna treat them a certain type of way. You know, people are gonna. It's just, you know, I can see the ignorance coming out already, you know. But anyways, what I wanted to not focus on, but National Geographic, they got a new editor. I think it's their first Jewish editor that they ever had.
Mm-hmm.
And she basically came out, you know, I think today or yesterday, and she was like, yo, our coverage for a long time, you know, all the stuff that we've done has been pretty racist. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, yeah. And she admit, you know, like, you know, because National Geographic's known to be having pictures like, say, they're in Africa, Ghana, wherever, you know, they're showing women with their breasts out, dudes with the loincloth, you know what I mean? All these type of things, you know what I mean? And I feel like it dehumanized, you know what I mean, those people. You know, yeah, they're okay, they're tribal, they're living life in their old ways, you know, they're not modern. But to me, it's like they shouldn't have focused, you know, on those things, you know what I mean? And now they're realizing that, yeah, you know, we kind of disregarded, basically we ignored, you know, minorities here in America and show, you know, because, you know, you're black, you know what I mean? Do you want to see, you know, like, you know, fucking, you know, black African women with their breast out and shit like that? That doesn't, you know what I'm saying? Like, they basically played to, I guess what, and this is what she's saying. She's like, we basically played to the white male crowd here in America. You know what I mean? Like, you know, fucking, you could always count on National Geographic to show some woman's titties, you know what I mean? Fucking, for a lack of a better word. Yeah.
I remember this. Nah, it was this thing on Dave. I'm sorry. I love Dave Chappelle. He had like, it was set up, you know, like, remember Girls Going Wild, you know, in college they had it was thing with African women, something going wild, and it was showing African women with they, like you said, their titties out and just looking crazy. But yeah, like my brother was saying that too. He's like, when I was talking to him about the warlords, he's like, yeah, you know, they always show like, you know, videos and, you know, commercials like, you know, with UNICEF and stuff of, you know, like when you eating late at night, early in the morning, there's people looking like they about to die, but they don't never show you the greatness in Africa. They don't show you the black people with wealth that has way more wealth than some people in America. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, they don't want you to, I guess, you know, see that part. You know, they don't want you to know there's people in Africa that are probably richer than, you know, your average family over here. Not average, I would say a family that's making high six figures, you know.
Mm-hmm.
That could send their kid to a prestigious college with no problem. You know, that's over there in Africa, they doing that. Just like in Saudi Arabia, just like in Dubai and Abu Dhabi. You know, I had a customer, she's like, these kids over there got Lambos, Ferraris, like, just like Fast and Furious movie, like, that's how they living, you know what I'm saying? But
Word.
A-Rap money, we get A-Rap money.
Oh man, you blowing out my levels here.
Fucking, oh man, I got you, man. I got
you.
Know,
but like you were saying, are you familiar with Mansa? What's his name? Mansa Musa.
Mansa Musa.
Mansa Musa.
Mansa Musa.
You remember Jay-Z bringing him up?
Let me Google that.
Oh man, nah, ain't no time for googling.
Jay, what? Nah, I ain't hear about that.
But I think hopefully I'm pronouncing this right. Mansa Musa. But anyway, he was a king in Africa a long time ago. He actually traveled a lot. He would travel outside of Africa. He would actually go to Europe, and this dude had crazy amounts of wealth. One fact that I remember reading about him, reading about him was that he would, like, wherever he would go, he would like throw gold. I mean, he literally would make it rain. You know what I'm saying? Like, and supposedly he would cause inflation. You know what I'm saying? Wherever he went, he would cause inflation because he would just be throwing up gold, you know, freaking coins all over the place and shit. And people be running, and next thing you know, even poor people got these gold coins, you know, and that would just drive the prices of product up because he was doing that.
Yeah.
You know, so this guy basically was like I guess you call it the father of making it rain. You know, he was an African king. Mansa, what's the lyric? Mansa Musa, something the devil is a lie. Truth, it was with Rick Ross. It was the devil's is a lie.
Oh, that
the devil
is a lie.
Yeah, it was Jay-Z's where he first referenced him, and I didn't know who he was at first. I didn't even know he was really referencing a person. You know what I mean? And so I came across that name in a book, and I'm like, wait, this is the same shit Jay-Z was talking about. So, anyways, but yeah, that again, you know, so we're talking more historically, but the wealth that Africans, you know, have had. You know what I mean? And you're right, though. You know, the image is always this poor image, this image.
Bush and, you know, got a bone in their nose.
Right, and it reminds me of when I used to watch a little bit Megyn Kelly on Fox. You know, freaking, because she used to always get tight when people used to say, you know, the Santa Claus have to be white. That one year there was a black Santa Claus in a mall, I think in Minnesota, and you know, it started like a little bullshit controversy, and she's like, come on, kids. This is Megyn Kelly, who's now on NBC. I can't believe this shit, but she's like, come on, kids. Everybody knows Santa Claus is white. You know what I mean? And I'm saying, and then she said the same shit with Jesus. You know, she was like, "Come on, everybody knows Jesus." Well, Jesus was a white man. I mean, and it's like, damn, Megan, you're so she doesn't even probably realize how racist she is.
I probably know about face. Cause I be watching Fox. You know, you gotta watch everything, but it's like, yeah, man. Hey, if I was probably getting $500,000 to talk shit about, you know, whether I believe it or not. I mean, I'm not saying I would do it, but you know, the people at Fox, they don't give a fuck.
No, but you had to look at her when she was saying it. She really believed this shit, man. Like she wasn't. It was just like, to me, it was like matter of factly for her. You know, it was just like, come on, everybody knows. You know what I mean, like why is it so important for these key figures in culture? You know, like Santa Claus. I hate to call him a key figure. You know what I mean? But he means a lot to kids.
Yeah, I know. All my kids know I'm this Santa. Damn it. You know, but it's crazy.
Papa Santa.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, you know, it's all financial. You know. Christmas, and then, you know, everybody, if you read the Bible, you know that they said Jesus was
I don't fuck with that shit, but go ahead.
Oh,
Excuse me.
yeah,
See,
yeah.
the first time I had to reference it.
Yeah, well, I got to start talking about religion. He gonna be cursing up and everybody. But now, yeah, you know, yeah, he wasn't a white sounding person. Like, if you listen to how they described how he looked, but you know, it's for people that, like you said, if you ignorant to the fact of a lot of stuff. Like, I got a lot of friends that, you know, they might, you know, I was listening to this, yeah. I learned a lot from my customers too, like, cause I was telling them how, you know, I learned a lot from you.
That taxi cab confessionals type shit.
Hey, I ain't no taxi cab, man. I'm a professional driver. I be taking motherfuckers.
Black transporter.
Yeah,
yo,
that's right.
Holler if you need a ride in that Cadillac.
Yeah, you know,
$200 rides.
Yeah, $300 if you know what I'm saying, depending on how I feel. Nah, but real talk. They may forget what I was saying. I was talking about you know, I got short-term memory as I smoke that chronic.
Yo, don't let the delivery. You don't do delivery. What, the New York cab?
I did I'm good. That was that back in the day.
Cleanse blends. Shout out to Cleanse blends.
I took my annual. I'm good. Nah, but yeah, man. It's just what we was talking about, man. Cause you know.
Oh shit. I forget. My bad. I shouldn't see when you're on one. I gotta just sit back and let you go.
Nah, I just Yo,
you were saying you learned stuff from your customers.
Oh yeah, the customers. So he was basically saying, yeah, because it was some deep shit. He was like, I was telling him I learned stuff from you, and you know, he was like, and I was like, yeah, he's very knowledgeable with this political science and, you know, politics and history. And he was like, and I was like, yeah, you know, I gotta learn more. And then he said something about, like, you know, everybody learns from everybody. He's like, you don't have to be the sun, you don't have to shine, you could be the moon. So I like, oh, so, you know, you like the sun, I'm like the black moon, you know. Shout out to Black Moon. Shout out to Black Moon in the BK. He was just like saying that, like, just like a star, like, you know, like millions of stars make up, you know, the bright night sky, you know what I'm saying? Like, everybody, you know, each one teach one type of shit. But he explained it in a different way. And, you know, some of these people I'm talking to for like 2 hours, and it's funny. It's like I should make a book called, it's like, you know, I'm talking to them and I'm not really looking at their face. I see them when they get in the car, and then, you know, they get out the car so quick. It's like that. I don't, you know, like, you know, I see so many people, I don't remember their face, but some lessons are learned from these people, you know, because I meet people that, like, travel the world. It's not like they just going to get some chicken or did I say chicken? Shrimp. They're like, why I gotta be chicken? Because I'm black. I'm trying to stop eating chicken.
And man, chicken is a staple in this country for everybody.
Yeah, like Michael Blackson. Shout out to Michael Blackson. He was like, there was some skinny dude in the order. He's like, look at this mother sucker. He gonna order six waters and some diet chicken. I was like, yo, I ain't never heard nobody say diet chicken. That dude is stupid.
But it's funny that you started talking about, because you're a professional driver, like you said, and I came across this book, and you're probably not. I'll show it to you afterward, but I'm gonna go ahead and, you know, as we get ready to wrap up here, I ran across this book called here it is right here, the Negro Motorist Green Book.
Oh,
yo,
shit.
this is some shit that was published from like the 30s to like 1960. You know, and this book was basically a guide, you know what I mean, to a black motorist, basically telling you where you can go. It was like a you know, basically, you this is where it's safe to go. You know what I mean? And I was listening. Actually, I was listening to Mark Thompson on Sirius XM, and he had an old. You could tell it was an old head. I mean, old head. Yeah. You know what I mean? Fucking and he was like, oh yeah. He was like, when we used to go see my cousin. You know what I mean? They were going from one state, like Mississippi to freaking Alabama or something like that, Mississippi to Georgia. You know, he's like, we would always take off at night. We would only drive at night. You know what I mean? He was like, just so we wouldn't run into any cops, we sleep in the car. He's like, we never went to like a gas station to use the bath. We would stop somewhere where where no one would see us. Everyone used the bathroom outside. And he was like, you couldn't, just because we didn't want to get harassed. So that's where this book came from. This book came from, basically, it will let you know of where you're traveling. So you look up, I'm traveling from here to here. Where are the places I can go? Where are the little stops, the rest stops, that I can go and I wouldn't get messed with or get rejected or have the cops get called on me. And the dude was like, my father, he was like, even after the civil rights legislation and everything, and things got better for us, he was like, he would not stop going to this one gas. Whenever we did our road trips, he would not stop going to this one gas station because he was like, he was so scared of racism surprising him. You know what I mean? Like, he knew that because there was one gas station back in the day that was known, to serve black people, basically treat them like everybody else. You know what I mean? That's what the shit they were on. He was like, he would hold it for hours. He's like, not until we get to that gas station. You know what I mean? Like, he was like, no. And he'd be like, Dad, I think we could go here. The book says here, I'm sorry, we're going to keep going to this place. So that's what this book was all about.
It's called the Negro Motorist Handbook?
The Negro Motorist Green Book. You know what I mean? And it was a guidebook, let you know what barbershops you could go to, what taverns, what hotels, that they already knew from the research that it was going to be all good when you showed up there. You weren't going to get harassed, beat up, clubbed, you know what I mean? Freaking. And I look at stuff like this, documents like that, and I'm saying to myself, man, and that's why it's so important to be a part of the of what's going on, and I'm always an advocate for us to be involved in politics, put our voice out there, vote, you know what I mean? Because I don't want to see a freaking, I don't even want to imagine a 2110 book version of this, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like we're going back. You know what I mean? We're definitely in a regression right now. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want this to be considered a throwback version of that book in the future. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, oh, yeah, now we have to have these books again because it's not all good to drive around in rural America because of people. And then we'll all point to Trump, you know what I'm saying, and say that was the beginning of it. You know what I mean? So, and it's just little reminders like this that make me, we got to fight for the future. Not only we have to fight for now, but in the future may look very different. This may be you know what I'm saying? This might be an app on your phone. Oh, let me see where I'm black. I'm riding through this town. Let me see where I can go.
That remind me of you saw that movie Life with Martin Lawrence and Eddie Murphy?
Uh-huh.
You remember when they stopped? It's the same shit. They stopped at this gas station or they wanted to get something to eat, and it said whites only. But they came in, it was like and they want some pie, and she was like, "Don't you read the sign out there?" It says white. He like, so how much does it cost? Because she didn't want to serve them. He like, how much does it cost to turn one of those only white pies into a nigger pie? And then she pulled the gun. She pulled the gauge out. He like, okay, where you said to go down the road? That shit was bad funny. But
I vaguely remember that joint.
Yeah, it's just like what you said. They probably took it from that. You know what I'm saying? Like, but yeah, that movie was based in like the 30s or some shit like that. That was a sad movie. It was funny. Getting locked up for life for some crime that a white man said you committed when you didn't even commit it.
Yeah, man, fucking
which happens a lot today. But
yeah, absolutely. I mean, how many people getting, every year someone's getting, out of jail or a death sentence because of DNA exoneration, or they found out, oh, this person lied. The cops, forced them to testify in such and such way. So
Trump wanted to get the death penalty.
Penalty for drug dealers.
Yeah,
I mean,
like,
don't get me wrong. I'm not all about. I don't like drugs. I think like most of us do. You know what I mean? But death penalty? I mean, come on now.
What about death
And that's
penalty?
not even going to solve the problem because there's people that get.
They want to get it anyway.
Murder, a lot of times murder has a death penalty, and that shit ain't stopped murdering. So,
I think he getting pressure from these opioids, fucking with these white people, because when it was, heroin where it was fucking with the blacks, it was just like, oh, it's what they said, it's just a shame. Now it's what they call that word when it hits the white communities.
Epidemic.
Epidemic. Thank you.
Word.
Man, I got stuck for a second. Yeah. So I mean, hey, white supremacy. We already know what it is. That's why it's like when people talk about that affirmative action. Like, motherfucker, you know the shit that we went through and that we still got to go through. You could be, you know, like living in Connecticut. You could be like some of the people that live around here, and you ain't got to worry about no cop fucking pulling you over. I mean, unless you looking like you up to something, but shit. If you driving in a nice car, you Gucci, you know what I'm saying? You ain't got to worry about them pulling you over. Oh, what you doing over here? Oh, yeah.
That's where you got to break out your handbook, your green hand. I'm good, man. I got the book. But hey, man. So yeah, we gonna go ahead and wrap it up real quick. You know, I want to give a shout out to the chat room. You know, Big Nephew. Shout out to Big Nephew, Bonnet Lightbody, D Holla, D Mighty, Ebony, of course, Keenan Kong, Kevin Terry, Master Shock Value, Music Pad, of course, NJ. Rob X, Rob Low 2000, and of course, Ruckus Radio Live, Big Rich. Thanks for rocking with us. I don't know, again, what's coming up next. I'm bad about that, freaking, but whatever it is, I'm sure it's going to be awesome. And thanks again for listening in, guys. We're out.
Peace.
The WTF
We'll get broke the fuck up. The wisdom we apply, son, soak this shit up. And if it was sex, son, you probably smoke this shit up. So wake the fuck up, we'll get